You ever noticed how some apps just stress you out while others feel incredibly calm and just easy? Well, today we're going to dive into a design philosophy that's all about finding that calm. And we're getting our inspiration from one of the most minimalist places on Earth. We're talking about desert aesthetics and how they can seriously help us build better, calmer digital products.
I know, it sounds a little strange, right? The ancient, quiet desert and our noisy, fast paced digital world. But honestly, the desert holds some pretty deep lessons about clarity and focus. It teaches us how to strip away all the mental noise that just plagues so many products today. And if you're a product manager, that should be music to your ears.
And this right here, this is the whole problem in a nutshell. On the left, you've got that cluttered, overwhelming interface. It creates a ton of what we call cognitive load. But on the right, something totally different. It's calm, it's intuitive, it's focused. It just works. Our whole goal is to get away from the chaos on the left and find that beautiful clarity on the right. And believe it or not, the desert is going to be our guide.
Okay, so to really get why this works so well, we need to look beyond just the visuals and dig into a little bit of psychology. What is it about simplicity that our brains just find so appealing?
Well, it all kicks off with this really cool idea called the biophilia hypothesis. The theory is basically that we humans are hardwired to connect with nature. And that doesn't just mean, green forests and lush jungles. Our brains actually find a deep sense of comfort in all kinds of natural spaces, including the huge open landscapes of a desert. The desert landscape taps into two really ancient survival instincts that, believe it or not, are super relevant to user experience. First is prospect. That's the feeling of safety you get from a wide open view. In the digital world, that's your clear navigation and tons of white space. Then there's refuge, that comforting feeling of a sheltered spot. Think about well-defined buttons and content blocks that feel solid and safe. A really great design gives a user both of these feelings at once. And all of this circles right back to that term, cognitive load. The easiest way to think about it is like your user's mental bandwidth. The more you make them work just to figure out your interface, the more you're eating up that bandwidth. And when it runs out, they get frustrated and they leave. So our job as product managers is to get that mental effort as close to zero as humanly possible. At the end of the day, the desert is really nature's masterclass in minimalism. It strips away absolutely everything that isn't essential, and that automatically lowers our cognitive load. So when we apply that same exact principle to our products, we're removing all that mental clutter. It helps the user focus, and it makes the product feel way more professional and trustworthy.
All right, so we've got the why down. Now for the fun part, the how. We're going to break down the desert into its core visual language, color, shape, and light, to see exactly how we can put these ideas into practice.
Color communicates emotion way faster than any words can. And the desert palette is just full of these warm, earthy tones like terracotta and sand. These colors feel grounded, they feel human. They instantly build a sense of trust, which makes this palette absolutely perfect for brands in the wellness, luxury, or craftsmanship spaces. Now let's talk shape. The forms in the desert are soft, they're organic. That gentle curve of a sand dune, for example, can be the perfect, natural way to guide a user's eye through a layout. But, and this is so important, the desert's biggest lesson is the power of negative space. That so-called empty area isn't wasted space at all. It's what gives your content room to breathe. It's what directs the user's focus right where you want it. Light is such a powerful tool for setting a mood. Think about the harsh midday sun. It creates these high-contrast, bold shadows. That's perfect for a confident, assertive brand. But then you have the soft light of sunrise, creating these gentle, diffused shadows. That's ideal for a much calmer, more serene user experience. And you can get these exact effects with things like soft gradients and subtle drop shadows in your UI. Okay, this is where the rubber really meets the road. How do we take all these beautiful, natural forms and actually translate them into functional, clickable UI elements that solve real problems for our users? So first, you gotta understand that the shapes of sand dunes aren't random at all. They're formed by the pure physics of wind moving over sand. And because of that, each shape has its own built-in meaning, a story of movement or stability or focus. And we can totally borrow that meaning for our designs. Now this framework is just incredibly useful. A barchan dune, that crescent shape,
It just screams forward movement, right? So it's perfect for a next button. A long, linear dune acts like a natural line, guiding your eye. Use it to lead to a call to action. A big, stable star dune is great for a central navigation icon or even a logo. And a U-shaped parabolic dune, it naturally encloses things, making it ideal for framing testimonials or key images. It's so cool.
So after all this theory, let's talk brass tacks. What's the actual business value here? Why should you, as a product manager, actually invest in this kind of aesthetic? Let's connect the dots.
Here's the bottom line for your brand. This isn't just about making things look pretty. This is a strategic choice. By lowering that cognitive load, you are directly reducing user friction. By using natural guiding lines, you improve navigation flow. All of this creates a sense of calm and professionalism, which makes your brand feel higher quality, more authentic, and more trustworthy. For your business, that means a better user experience and a much stronger connection with your audience.
I absolutely love this quote because it just nails the whole idea. It's about subtraction, not about adding more stuff. It's about finding authority, not in cramming more features in, but in the quiet, confident authority of open space and clarity. And so that brings us to one final, simple question to leave you with. When you look at your own product, honestly ask yourself, is it adding to the digital chaos, or is it creating a moment of genuine calm and focused clarity for your user? The choice really is yours.